Here is chapter 15 of Upside Down Magic, Whether or Not. So here we go. The center of town was crowded, but Nori knew where to go. She took hold of Willa's backpack strap and pulled her toward the Upside Down Magic crew. Wowzers, Nori said as they slipped in by the others. She took in all the people and her mouth fell open. So many people, so many flags and pennants, so many historical costumes. People really go all out, don't they? Marigold saw her and smiled. It's Dunwittle, she exclaimed. Of course we do. Nori handed out antlers to those who didn't have them yet. Willa adjusted hers more snugly behind her ears. Does this mean everything's good? Elliot asked. Nori linked her arm through Willa's. Everything's good. I hope it's not going to rain, Marigold said, looking at the darkening sky. Of course it isn't, Elliot said. It never rains on Bing Day. Still, Nori felt a flutter of unease as she looked at the weather. The clouds were dark gray. No, they were almost black. She shivered and buttoned her coat. The parade is starting, Bax cried. First came the marching band. They played trumpets, trombones, and low burping tubas. The band members were dressed in ye old costumes of 1893, complete with tassels, epaulets, and conical hats. Next came a float showing landmarks of the town of Dunwittle. Then the mayor drove by in an old-fashioned black car with round headlights. Then a bunch of other old people driving more old-fashioned cars. Then some bagpipers in kilts. Why? Nori didn't know. Then came a troupe of folk dancers wearing clogs and sashes. Then a float that showed the town of Dunwittle buried in snow. This parade was nothing like the summer parades back in Nutmeg, where Nori used to live, but Nori loved it anyway. Andre floated above the others like a balloon, his leash gripped tightly by his sister Carmen. Aunt Margot and several other flyers watched the parade from high up. Elliot's dad had Elliot's little brother on his shoulders. Pepper's brothers were jumping and clapping. Bax's mom was there. Marigold's grandparents watched from a bench several yards back, and so did Sebastian's family. Willa's family showed up a little later, the Ingeborg parents, plus a tall blonde girl Nori figured must be Willa's sister Edith. They smiled their chilly Ingeborg smiles. Suddenly, the parade stopped. Willa nudged Nori. They're pausing. That means it's time for the Bing Day sing-along. All at once, the marching band, the bagpipers, and the tambourine players began to play the same tune. It was jolly music. The whole town launched into song. Oh, Bing, Dunwittle loves you so, your sunshine power and melted snow. Clap your hands and loudly sing. Clap your hands now, clap for Bing. They all clapped in a rhythm. Clap, 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 clap. Oh, Bing, Dunwittle loves you so, your sunshine power and melted snow. Stomp your feet and loudly sing. Stomp your feet now, stomp for Bing. They all stomped in the same rhythm. Stomp, 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 stomp. It was pretty cool. A whole town singing together. Nori and Willa grinned at each other. Oh, Bing, Dunwittle loves you so, your sunshine power and melted snow. Snap your fingers, loudly sing. Snap your... The gray sky opened with a crash. Lightning cracked. Rain poured down. So much rain. No one had umbrellas, not even the UDM kids. After all, Willa didn't rain outdoors, and it never, ever rained on Bing Day. That meant that all of the people who believed Zephaniah Bing's enormous flare power kept her holiday sunny, they were wrong. It was definitely raining. The ye old marching band stopped playing. The bagpipers ran into one another. The tambourine players ran into the bagpipers. The cloggers looked sad. A toddler started weeping, and two more joined in. Here and there, flares with heating magic made warm spots for people to huddle in, but everyone was still outrageously wet. Kids, we might have to run in for cover, Miss Starr said. Oh no! Nori didn't want to leave. It was her first Bing Day parade. Can't somebody stop it? Asked Marigold. She looked at Willa. Sebastian looked at Willa. One by one, Nori saw all the UDM kids turn to look at Willa. I didn't make it rain, Willa exclaimed. We know, but Willa, you can stop it, Nori said. But Willa shook her head. Miss Ingeborg shook her head. Mr. Ingeborg shook his head. Willa's sister Edith said, Willa's magic doesn't work that way. You guys should know that already, if you were in her class. She can't stop big rains, not even when she starts them. But Willa had shrunk that large drizzling cloud in the museum down to a small and furiously raining one, and she had attached the small and furiously raining one to Nori. Could she do something like that here? Nori turned to her friend. Willa, you can help. Me? Willa squeaked. No, I can only make it rain indoors. But you don't have to make it rain, or even stop it from raining. You just need to move the rain, or shrink the cloud. Yeah, Elliot chimed in, understanding. Attach it to something like you did when you made the cloud follow me at the pool. And me at the museum, Nori said. Willa took a step backward. I can't attach a giant cloud I didn't make. I can only attach a tiny cloud that I made myself. Nori stepped toward her and touched Willa's arm. Try, Willa, please. Please, echoed Elliot. Nori had faith. You can do it, Willa, she said. I know you can. Willa gulped. Everyone in the UDM class was looking at her. Nori, Marigold, Elliot, everyone. They all wanted her to do something she couldn't do. There was no way she could attach a giant rain cloud to something moving. And it wasn't just one cloud, it was many clouds clustered together, and there wasn't anything to attach them to anyway. Willa looked at her classmates. A small voice bubbled up within her. Breathe, the voice said. Your friends believe in you. Come on, Willa, said Nori. Try it. It's okay if you don't succeed, but try. Willa closed her eyes and tilted her face to the sky. She searched for the water power inside her. She looked for the water inside her with love instead of frustration or anger. She felt love for her classmates, for the parade, for the town of Dunwhiddle, her love for ye old life itself, which sometimes was stormy, but today seemed shiny and beautiful. She found the magic in her, and she connected her water magic to the water in the sky. She imagined a great finger gently pushing the storm clouds aside. Just scooch over that way, please, she told the clouds. Rain on the high school, rain on the park, but right here on Main Street, we're celebrating sunshine, okay? I'm just going to coax you gently over to the side. Gasps peppered the air around her, then rippled out farther within the crowd. Willa felt the caress of sunlight on her face, buttery and warm. The rain clouds hadn't disappeared, but they'd moved over just where Willa had pushed them. Now, instead of raining on the entire town, the clouds left Main Street alone. The parade zone was dry. Pale yellow sunlight shone on the marching band, the cloggers, and the floats. It shone on the crying toddlers and their wails dried up. It shone on the gleaming tubas, and the tuba players once again belted out their jolly song. The other musicians picked up the tune. The cloggers resumed clogging. The mayor took off his bowler hat and waved it through the air. Onward, he cried. The crowd erupted in hoots and hollers and wild applause. Willa felt cool fingers find her hand. It was her mother. You did that, she told Willa, amazed. Sweetie, you moved the rain. Now you won't have to live in the shed, said Edith. Next time you rain at the house, you can move it to the bathroom or something. She was never going to live in the shed, said Mr. Ingeborg. Edith, behave. That was pretty cool, actually, said Edith, ruffling Willa's wet hair. I've got to give it to you. 3 cheers for Willa, yelled the UDM kids. Hip, hip, hooray! Well done, Willa, said Miss Starr. That was some extraordinary upside-down magic. Actually, I don't think it was upside-down magic. Willa spoke loudly, and her parents and Miss Starr leaned in to listen. Marigold made me do some thinking, and Miss Cruciferous made me think more. Think what? Asked Willa's mother. I don't think I'm upside down exactly. You don't? Said Miss Starr. No. Why not? I don't flare. Not ever. That's true, said Willa's mother. She never does. So I think I have some kind of water magic. not upside down flaring, said Willa. Like a different category. Maybe we could call me a fluid. Ooh, that's way better than a fishy, Marigold said. What do you think, Miss Star? Willa asked. Miss Star gave a bright smile. I think it's absolutely possible. There's so much about magic that doesn't fit our 5F categories. And you definitely have a right to call your magic a name that feels true for you. We can all respect that in the future. Hooray, Nori cried. Marigold hugged Willa. I'm so proud of you. Willa's mom hugged her too. There's a lot going on in your head, little missy, she said. So much to talk about when we get home. Hey, Elliot, said Nori, did you see how I helped Willa to realize she could save the parade? I was the one who told Willa to do it. Did you hear me? Yeah, said Elliot. I did, actually. You were really encouraging. I helped Willa do amazing fluid magic, Nori continued. And do you know what that makes me? No, Elliot looked puzzled. Gertrude Raspberry. Pepper nodded. Yeah, I can see that. Gertrude was the unsung, humble hero who saved Dunwhiddle. Just like me, said Nori. Willa laughed. How can you be the unsung, humble hero if you tell everyone you're the unsung, humble hero? Nori stopped for a minute. Okay, fine. Good point. Then she smiled. Willa, you saved Bing Day. Willa saved Bing Day. Willa glowed. She had saved Bing Day. All of these townspeople were clogging and bagpiping right this very second because she had moved the rain. Without her, Willa Ingeborg, with the fluid magic, everyone would have gone home, soaked and sad. Willa put her arm around Nori. Thanks for the encouragement, Gertrude. Nori winked. Anytime, Zeppy. And that's the end of chapter 15. So we'll get to chapter 16 next week.